Hello, so today I'm going to be putting together it's almost like a sister piece or brother piece to the last one that I put together uh, on one of the process videos, and it's where I'd got the original one I'd got from the front cover of this magazine, Christmas magazine, and I didn't get into the warfare spirit, and I found on the back that this with the lettering you've got here, and that got, I thought, well, that would be a good. It's a shame if I'd lose using that piece as well. So I have managed to source some bits together to make a piece out of this, and it's the same principle, forcing warfare onto what's supposed to be the peaceful festival of Christmas. Because that still happens and is still happening. So I'm going to again have custom paste lettering over the word Christmas, because that's one that's being subverted. As you can see the lettering here, keeping it there safe. I'm going to use the word Atrocity. Oh, there's a T for it. And very simple bits to cut out. The top here, I've got here written here, top with the torn bottom. The same principle as before. And these are Japanese bombers. And I could actually put some. I was going to put some bombs drumming down here, but the people that are at the bottom of where allies when these were, that's a Japanese bomber. These are Nazi troops, and I'm gonna this at the bottom, but I'm gonna cut that out. I'm not gonna tear it. Or should I actually? I could see if I could actually tear around there and see if that works. If not, I will cut with a scalpel. And here, as a way of dealing with this text, or at least some of it, I'm going to have these skulls coming out from behind the pudding. So that is all. Those are all my pieces. I have my handy tools here, including especially my gluing book, and I'll be back in a moment to put this together. So we're going to put these together now. So what I'm going to do first is I will, here's my scalpel. I'm going to cut this shape around here so I know I've got that right. So cut that this top bit to size even, and do the tearing for that. As with the other one, I'd normally have my arms out a bit more, but I've got a box right next to me here because I am. This room, my office room, is also being used as the Christmas present storage room. And I've got a rather large box to the left of me. So you will know that this video is being filmed in December. Whether it will be released in December, that's another matter, probably not. So anyway, so I've got a bit of a queue of videos. So anyway, so let's try tearing this. Tearing is always a bit of a risk, really. Keep that. So I've got to get rid of this bit. As well as the more you do it, the more skilled you become. I don't use it that often. You can see this is not going fantastically well. But here we go. Although I do quite like how savage it is. And this isn't quite the right width, exact width as this, so I'm going to have to trim off this side, but that's fine. So it'll help a bit with this business with the text as well. Instead of doing it central, I might do it off centre to the right. Now here's a bit there, a bit iffy about, but I'll cut the sides to size, the left and right to size. That's that there. That's in the back there. Still worth keeping the offcut for this, for what's at the bottom. That might be useful at some point. And bottom here. We'll keep that offcut. Now, here's the hairy bit. As you will see what the width of this is like on here. Similar thing. In fact, they're both the same size. It's handy. Now, this one's a tricky bit. What I want to try and do, without completely damaging the image, is follow the shape of these that these German soldiers are making. I feel this has actually seemed to have worked. Cut off his shoulder a bit there, but that's not the worst thing in the world. And I can try and draw him back in. And goes for his helmet. So that seems to have gone okay there, like that. Wasn't my original plan, but then I've just thought I'd be a bit more experimental with it and have the tearing. So it's almost like you tear away the facade and see the horror beneath with humanity. But then you've got this poking out as well. So this should not take long to cut. I know it seems like I'm taking a lot of shortcuts here, which I am to an extent, but one of the things I've always said I liked about collage is its immediacy. So you don't have to spend 12 hours making something like you might do with a painting, or going back to it day after day. I mean, that can still happen with the more complicated ones. And I've known people that will have worked days on their pieces going back to them, but that is not the most fun thing for a video. I understand. As much as there are some people that absolutely love this form of artwork, and for those that you're out there, I thank you for being a fellow lunatic. We're not going to want to watch this for hours, are we? The longest one I've done, in fact I know the longest one I've done, is the video, and it was, funnily enough, me making digital artwork. Was I'd taken some pieces from one of Social Living's free packs, image packs, and put together a piece based on that, and have a look back, do check out that video, and also check out Social Live. Yeah, you'll find a link there to his site where you can buy these packs from, or he does a trial, some free bits, some free versions of them. And they're very good. It's where he's taken a lot of old source material, scan them in. You can usually buy them by subject, and there's a lot in them, and it's very much worth it. And also because if you're going to do, it means you're going to have to do it digitally unless you print them out. However, it will make the you can use these things over and over again, and in lots of different ways. I've talked about the pros and cons of both digital and analog collage, why I like both and what I like about both. So they and one of them, I find the pros is that I can use lots of different pieces of source material over and over again, but also so that I can a little bit more free on how I size them. Now I've lopped this one off here so I don't have to cut all the way around here, and it also means a bit more free about how this is going to stick out, or if I'm going to use it at all. So I've got this here, although actually I'll cut this off down here so I've got more room to play. I've got that there like that. Got a bit of text sticking out there, but it won't be the worst thing in the world. So draw over that, and there. I have the tearing, so I can get that down to about there. However, I'll chop off a bit more. Do a bit more savage colouring. However, I can extend the size of the piece a little, because it means I can have the bit at the bottom a bit further down. So I've got that there like that, but then I can just colour in like, instead of just colouring in the actual full text, I colour around quite a bit more, so that then it looks a bit more deliberate, like it should be like that. And that would go into there like that. So I'm going to have to lop this bit off the bottom, but that's fine because it's not integral to the piece. Should have the skull coming up from here. I could actually have, yeah, this coming up. Through there like that. And here you have a bit at the top, the bit at the bottom. This is out of camera now. And you have your text. And next we should be gluing all that together. Okay, so it's gluing time now. So let's first get these skulls glued on, because they're in position already, so I don't have to use the gluing pad. All I need to do is glue there. So I glued on the back piece a bit, lifted up, glued the skull. That's that there like that. And then I will glue this skull down here. and for good measure glue that there to seal it down. Now the bit at the bottom that worked better than I thought it would. I mean, if it hadn't worked, I'd just cut out with the scalpel, but I quite stylistically like what I did here, and it's good to have things like this because they it shows how you can have the original, what you originally had in mind in your head, and then it just works out differently. Sometimes the inspiration comes at the last second, and it can change, and sometimes it improve what the original idea was. So let's line this, try and line this up nicely here. And here we have that there, and the last bit, until before the lettering, is here. Now the thing about tearing is, as well as having a good stylistic approach to it, is also, if you're lucky, you'll know what you're doing, which is a bit of both with me, more luck in this regard. It's speeds things up a bit as well. And now the moment of truth, the lettering. So I will spell out the word first, so now I've got them in the right order. And I have enough, I believe I do. Again, this is another one where I am likely to have to do a bit of colouring in, but as I said with the other one, it's it almost adds to the savagery and the tacked on, rather violently tacked on. I've replacement of the original word and sentiment. So we've got here the word atrocity, and it's going to be big enough this time. I'll still probably have to colour in the middle, so above and below maybe. And this one, the first one, I actually called it something slightly different to what was actually the text that you saw there. This one I will, oh, I'll have to colour above and below maybe. This one I will call it what the actual text is. Now I'm in two minds while I'm doing this of, do I actually colour over where the original text is? Because there are two schools of thought what you can do with this. You can do it so that it's as it is right now, where it's just put it over, and you can see the obviousness of the fact that the word, the absolute obviousness that the actual word has been pasted over. Or I could colour it in, and I could make it so that basically the somebody's attempted to try and cover it up and hasn't made a good job of it, or it's very obvious. So I'll see what it looks trying to colour it, because I can just like do both. I'm going to colour it and try and make it obvious that someone's tried to cover. What I've got to do, I believe, is make it then obvious that it's someone has attempted to cover, so not do a really smooth job of it. If you understand my meaning, because all this could actually just be fixed in a computer. If I wanted to make it smooth, but then if I wanted to make it smooth, I wouldn't have done it with cut and paste lettering. It would have been done, I would have just basically used airbrushed over the lettering and just found a font that looked a bit like it and typed over, but I didn't want to do that. So here we go, and if I had a red pen on me, what I would do then is I'll try and colour this in red. I might still do that later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sign this. I might try and do that, and if it doesn't look right, at least it's got the hints of the red, so you get the picture. And I'll put the title here. That's that there. So I had to use 2 books for it, but still, catalogues for it, but still, I'm very happy with it. And 2 companion pieces to each other. So let's try and cut this as straight as I can. And what I'm going to do here, you won't be able to see on camera properly. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get the edge of the ruler straight to here, so I can do a good right angle. But no, first I shall trim this side off. So then I can do the right angle to it. Let's see how well this is going to go together. Will be cut off. I shall probably have to change the blade when I do my next piece. I've used it a fair bit. It's still cutting nicely, I think. But we'll see. And ultimately, I mean, it's kind of square now with each other. Ultimately, it will be squared up when it comes to me actually reproducing it. So, still a bit here where you can see where the rough edge is. Now, some people like to do that, where they won't trim, or back in the day, rephotograph. They would like to see the rough edges at the edge. That's what Hannah Hock used to do, or how she just chose to do it. So some people like that. For this case, I'm going to want it to be a nice smooth edge. So let me know what you think of this piece. I'm very happy with it. It's worked out very well, I think. Some people will find the absurdity of like a Christmas pudding, but that's the whimsy and absurdity of it. But also, like I said, it's showing the you know, how what should be the Festival of Peace is as always hijacked, and some of the people who actually talk about Christian peace and love are actually the least Christian people there are out there. So like I said, I'm gonna try and colour this bit in red, so you'll see that in the final iteration of it. It's just that I don't have a red pen on me here right now. So let me know what you think, whether you like it. Like, share, and subscribe. In the description has my merch links, my link tree, which is my merch links and my socials. And you can also find my Patreon there. Just doing the $1 a month all helps, and liking, sharing, subscribing helps me for free. And let me know what you think, and I shall speak to you soon. Thank you.